Hey, what's up, folks? This is Joe with JustAskJoe.net. Hey, listen, we have an array, a beautiful array of different dishes that we're going to do for you today. And for those of you that maybe are not familiar with this, this is actually our first video broadcast here. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for this all over the U.S. And here we go. We're going to do a nice appetizer, and then after that we're going to do a nice little soup. We'll do a salad. We'll do our own salad dressing. We're going to do a entree, and just the same, we'll do a nice little dessert, and then we'll go ahead and roll on out with a nice little drink we'll leave you with. Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do for the appetizer, I'm going to do a nice little salsa. Okay, something easy for you guys to do. Some of you may not be ready for some of the things that I do with my Vitamix machine. And for those that don't know, this is a Vitamix 5200. This is actually the piece of kitchen equipment that we use primarily here on JustAskJoe.net. Okay, so good stuff. For our salsa, I just want to let you guys know I have a few things in here already. Now, what I used as my base, you always have to have some type of base when you're doing a salsa. If you're making a fresh salsa, I use lemon as my base. You roll your lemon up real good, get all that juice circulating there, loosen up the pulp, and with that in mind, you only need half a lemon, and I just went ahead and squeezed that juice there, and so good stuff there. Also, what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of lime, just a wedge of lime juice there as well. I also took from my half a lemon, I cut out the pulp from it as well. Okay, so that's good stuff. The beautiful thing about this machine is I can put that pulp in there, go ahead and liquefy all of that pulp. Now, in putting our base in there, the main thing that we're trying to do at this point is we're going to liquefy all of the vegetables, the flavors that we want throughout of our salsa. Okay, so what I have in here is I have some regular jalapeno. Okay, so good stuff there. Had a nice big chunk of jalapeno in there. And something else that I put in there was some poblano pepper. Poblano pepper, I don't know, if you ask me, I like, as far as spicy is concerned, jalapeno is a little bit spicier than the poblano, but I guess it just depends on how ripe they are. I also put some Anaheim pepper in there as well. Again, Anaheim pepper is more of a banana pepper, same thing, more sweet than anything else. So we're going to add some of that in there. I also put some garlic in there. I put just a clove of garlic in there because, again, these are flavors that I want throughout the whole dish. I'm also doing some onion. Now, since we're purifying or liquefying these vegetables at this point, I can do stuff like add the onion skin. As long as you wash it, folks, then again, that's just more nutritional value, more fiber as well. We're going to add that. These, again, are flavors that we want throughout the whole dish. Okay, and while we're at it, let's add just a piece of some tomatillo or green tomato here. And at this point, we'll go ahead and liquefy. Now, I also put some cilantro in there. Now, with the cilantro that I put in there, I took off the stems, and I put mostly stems of the cilantro in there, okay? Because, again, we're liquefying. I'm going to save the leaves for later, and we're going to mix that up as we chop. I'm going to put a little bit of these chives in here as well. Just a little sprinkle, a little pinch of chives in there. And maybe a little green onion as well. Okay, again, flavors that we want throughout the whole dish. Drop that in there. And we're going to cut this up on high just for roughly about 10 seconds there to nicely puree. All right, so bear with us here. Now what I've done here, folks, is I've gone ahead and I've left the machine on, but I turned it down to my lowest setting. Okay, so if you're familiar with the Vitamix, then you should be familiar with being able to control these variable settings. So I actually have the machine still on. It's on our lowest setting, which when this machine is on its lowest setting, it's actually one of the slowest blenders on the market, if you will, or slower than a traditional food processor. So at this point, I can start adding some things that I want to chop. Now let's go ahead and get the things together that we want to chop. I've got some cilantro leaves here. And I've got a little bit of green onion here as well. We're going to chop those. We'll do some of this poblano pepper, again, not as spicy as the jalapeno, so I don't mind chopping that. And we'll do some bell pepper as well. We're going to chop that up. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of red onion in here as well. Chop that up. And what else can we add in there? How about some more of this banana pepper? Again, that's nice and sweet. We'll chop that up. Then we'll do some tomato. Okay, so we'll add some tomato there. With the tomato, there's a couple different options here. What some people like to do, including myself, is I will go ahead and I will squeeze out some of this juice. Okay, the reason for that is because if you leave too much of that juice in there, then basically you're going to have a nice sloppy, soupy salsa. Now, if that's what you want, that's fine. Okay, it's all about you and what you like to do. I like to squeeze some of that juice out, basically because, again, I don't want it to be that sloppy. So I'm going to do about 2 Roma tomatoes here. Okay. Now, for those that know me as well, you know that I don't use much measurements. Okay. It's just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay. If you ask me, that makes a good cook. So again, I'm taking out most of this pulp of the tomato, and at this point, we can, if we've got all our stuff here, I'm going to add a little more of this white onion here as well. And we got the bell pepper. We got a little bit of everything, folks. So at this point, we can just go ahead and start adding stuff in there. Now, a little bit of a secret here. Add the tomato last. It's your softer of the vegetables. So you kind of want to add those last. And so we'll go ahead and start adding. We got some bell pepper in there. You want to have all your vegetables together first. And then be able to go ahead and add them. Drop everything in there. Do the cilantro in there as well. Something else that I'm going to add in there first is I'm going to add a little bit of this Mrs. Dash extra spicy. This is good stuff here. Lots of flavor. There's no sodium, no MSG. Good stuff. Just lots of spice. Going to add some of that. That's going to give us a nice spice flavor as well. And we'll go ahead and add our tomato. Again, that was 2 of the Roma tomatoes. We're going to use our tamper stick here and go ahead and mix all that stuff up. Now, depending on how thick chunks you like, how thin of chunks you like, is going to depend on your variable settings here. So I've got it on my lowest setting. If you want to turn that up a notch, just to chop it up a little bit more, get the pieces a little more fine, you can do that. Okay, so you have that option. Now, something else I like to do at the end here as well is I will add a little bit of sea salt. Okay, not a lot. We don't want to add too much salt. We're not trying to add a whole lot of sodium, but that'll work there. So that was roughly, I'd say, about half a tablespoon of salt there. All right. So at this point, we got ourselves a nice salsa. And we're done with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, the end result here. Okay, so what we can do is we'll add a few chips. Okay, and at this point, we'll go ahead and add some of this salsa. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. Look at this. Nice, chunky, thick salsa. Again, if you want to turn that up to a higher setting there and get more of a thin, soupy salsa, you can do that. But let me see how this tastes. That's absolutely delicious, folks. And at this point, you know what? I'm going to go out and I think I'm going to catch a game here. All right? I'll be back, though.